I'm going to do these all setups on different operating systems, or I should do on the same Kali machine. Shall I do it on Ubuntu or Kali machine? The setups for web server. Kali. Okay, so let's do it on Kali. So first thing first, let's see what we have to set up, and then we'll continue. So first thing is how web application works, right? My internet is all over the place. This other thing, can you Docker container for a change? I can, but I won't be doing that because I don't want to confuse everyone here. And Docker itself, a total different thing. And yeah, I'm not interested doing it in Docker for any reasons, for particular these things. Okay. So first thing is the web application that we're going to run is, or any website that we run is, that requires few things in backend to run that particular application for us. So these applications might be operating systems that hold all those applications. Top of operating systems, we got something called web server. Now, web servers are responsible to display web pages on a website. Now, these web servers by default only supports HTML, CSS, JavaScript, XML, and stuff like that. Okay, they cannot process backend scripting languages like PHP or .ASP or .NET or JSP. So for this kind of things, we're gonna need a backend scripting language. Okay, so PHP is most common one because it's open source and easy to write code. Okay, so we're gonna have our example sets on PHP. Okay, so PHP will handle logical requests or generate dynamic web pages or web content based on user requests. Okay, and top of that, we're gonna need a database where we can hold or store our information. And how we can do all those things. And let's see what we can do for that. So start with having our operating systems, then go and make sure we have PHP and MySQL installed, and then we'll go and run a local web server. Okay, there was a demo video, someone deleted the video. It's from Sharon Chen. Okay, so we can create our own and put it here, and then we'll do the configurations. So before we jump into anything, let's start with this PHP.NET and MySQL. Again, in Kali Linux, we do have app by default install. So we're gonna do app install and install all those things for us. So power up my Linux machine. Come on. In last class, we have seen ngrok, so we can implement that one as well for fun. It's not required, just for fun. We got our network communication. Let's see. We'll do sudo apt. Let's run update first. Okay. So if any package are mismatching or having issues, we'll get to know here. So before this thing is going on, I have a few questions. Do you guys understand PHP and MySQL? Can you explain it for me? What is PHP and what is MySQL? Anyone? MySQL is a database language. PHP is scripting backend language. Okay. Loss. Okay, it's almost finishing up. Let's wait to finish. 116, 163.144. Looks like we almost finish up here. Alrighty, so now we can run these commands. So almost everyone have the answer that makes sense. So PHP is a backend scripting language that we're gonna use, and MySQL will be our database. So let's go. Sudo apt will do install and we'll search for PHP. Let's do PHP search first. See what version we have PHP. And we got ton of PHPs. Excuse me. And we are interested into PHP only, not these stuff. So we can install PHP my admin to, you know, maintain our MySQL database using a graphical interface. So we got PHP 7.4. Yeah, so latest version that they are having is PHP 7.4. So I'm going to do apt install php-y. So it won't ask me and it will start downloading and installing automatically. So that is a good thing. Alrighty, we see it's installed. We'll do PHP. Nothing came up. PHP-v, and we got PHP. Next thing, I'll do apt install search MySQL, and we'll see there's a ton of options. We can again go search for MySQL server and install it on that way. So by default in my computer, I do have MySQL installed. And if you try to do anything, you will get this warning, error 2002. So warning, if you read it here, cannot connect to local MySQL server through socket, and there is a socket number. So to connect this thing, we have to start our MySQL server. So we'll do sudo service MySQL start. We just do a status, it will show me it's inactive or dead here. We'll change status to start. It will hang for a few seconds and come back. If you run status, and now this is running here. And there's a few commands that run automatically. So we're going to do quit, and we'll do MySQL -v, and we get an error message saying, hey, access denied for user Kali at localhost. If I do sudo with that, and we can see the version we are looking into here, 10.3.22-MariaDB1. And this one actually logged me into my MySQL database server. So let's verify, do we have these things running properly or not? So we'll do sudo if config. We have IP address 192.168.1.104. So let's go type it here, 192.168.1.104, and we get this log page. So let's go and edit this page first. So cd var www.html. This is the default directory for Apache 2 web server. If you don't see anything, just do sudo service Apache 2 start. It will start your web service. Okay, so let's go and edit this page, and we're going to type something that makes much more sense. So anyhow, we're going to delete this page. So let's make it as simple as possible. This is my website running locally. And just make one more change here. IT, we save it. Just to verify we got this page running. 192.168.1.104. Control Shift R to remove this cache, and we see we got this page. Now this is a HTML page. That's not a PHP page. So let's go and create a PHP page. So we'll do sudo PHP. Info.php. And I forgot vim command here. And let's type a simple PHP script. So we'll do PHP and do echo PHP info, and then close this PHP tag. And PHP info will just print out information related to my PHP server that we can see here. So PHP version, all those additional files, PHP APIs, configurations, and everything. We can read it here. And here, see, they're telling me server admin is webmaster at localhost. You can actually change the settings by getting into etc apache 2 site enabled, and then search for this file. So sudo vim 000 web default, and this webmaster at localhost, you can change it to anything you want. So let's change it to Um, so I changed it. I have to restart my Apache server, so we can do sudo Apache 2, not sudo service Apache 2, reload, and then restart. And it should just fresh up this page and change it to Mentor Edwards. So now we can see we can work with PHP script as well as the HTML page here. And by default, they're showing me this index.html. Okay, so there is a hierarchy. So if you don't mention what page should show by default, all web servers takes index file name as a default opening file. Okay, so if I move index.html to something different, it will list the file for us, so I can click and see what is there. Okay, this is a simple handy trick that helps on different things. Okay, now getting back to our location, that is where www.html, where all our configuration files are saved. So we make the terminal bigger and delete all those files. And I cannot do that, so I do sudo rm star, and it will delete all of my files here. Now, what we can do now? We need a PHP script, and we have just 1 hour to play along. So what I'm going to do is, I already have the script on my GitHub account. So I'll just go to my GitHub, github.com, Anirai, and we'll search for Versio something, Versio application. So this is the thing that we're gonna use now. So download the code, git clone this. We'll copy this. This is our directory. We'll do git to see do we have git installed or not. I see there's some message coming up, that means git is installed. If you don't see something like that, make sure you run apt install git to install it beforehand. So we'll do sudo git clone and then the URL. So let's go back to here, type sudo. So sudo git clone and then the URL. Hit enter. It will start downloading this file from internet and start installing on this machine. We see everything is done. So we're gonna do mv. Before we do mv, let's do sudo mv versio this star. Now this star means take every single file from this directory, move it to my current working directory, and we see we got all those files here. So we'll do sudo rm. We don't require this. Let's do -r so we can delete this folder as well. We don't require config.yml, and we don't require readme, and we don't require versio.-webapp. Now all these files that we left with is we're gonna use. Now if you remember the very first class, we talked about this user and group thing. So we can see everything is on root, right? We don't want everything on root. So what we're gonna do is we'll do chown capital R, and we want to all those things owned by www-data. That is a default user for web application. And we get an error message because I forgot to put sudo. And if you do ls-l, now everything is owned by www-data. Awesome. Now, if you go back to my browser, refresh this web page, hey, we got some message here, right, about this code. Project code version 1.0, prerequisites Kali Linux, basic on this, download the code to do. Okay, let's see what is happening here. We got index.php and index.html. So if we cat on index.html, hey, it's too big. Okay, now here we see something that makes sense to us. Right, this is HTML page, and we don't require this HTML page, so we'll do rm index.html, sudo rm index.html. Now go back to my browser, refresh this page one more time, and we get a message saying database not configured properly. So this is a login page demonstration, right? If you look into the codes, index.php, here we see we are starting our sessions and we're including something called dbconf.php. So where is dbconf.php? And it's here. In dbconf.php, we have a file that's saying running variable, and this variable having information saying mysqli localhost admin admin123 users. If connection is error, print this message and die, or else echo this, and this one is having double forward slash. That means this is commented out, so you can see this is not highlighted anymore. So we're getting this message, that means database connection is failed. So what we require for this communication to happen? A username, a password, and a database. So let's go and create all those threes in my MySQL database. So we'll do sudo mysql-u root, hit enter, and now we logged in into my database. So first thing we can do is show databases. This is the by default basic databases, right? So first thing is we need to create a database. So we'll do create. Okay, now in many tutorials you will see these things are written into capital letter. Okay, don't worry, these are case insensitive, so I can write it in a small letter and it will work same ways. So database, and we're going to create a database and we're going to name it something. So what should we name it? Let's name it as July DB, semicolon, hit enter. We got a message query. Okay, one row affected. So if you do show databases, and we got July DB here. Now next thing we had is username and password. So let's create a account. Okay, and we're gonna create account. So DB name is July DB. Username, what we should take a username? Any suggestions for username? DB user. Okay. For password, I'm gonna just use the same as passwords, like DB pass. Okay. So far we got our database configured. So now we'll do create user single quote DB user single quote @ localhost. Now what that means is I'm going to create a user named DB user, and this user can only log in on localhost. If you want them to log in from anywhere, we're gonna use %sign or type all. Okay. Now, what about the password? How we can set a password on this? So I'll type identified, IDENTIFIED, by, and then single quote, DB pass, single quote, and semicolon. We got this message. Query okay. We can actually do show users. User, I guess. Users. Uh, we can do select star from MySQL.user. MySQL.user. And it's print all those information for us. And we'll just print out user and password. So we'll do select user password, and we can see this information. So you can see this password is now encrypted, and root have no passwords because hey, we don't had any password before, right? So we got our username, user password, and database. Now we have to give permissions my user to edit that database. So we'll do grant all privileges on July DB dot star. So that will allow in July database every single table and columns to the username is DB user at local host. So this command should give all permissions like edit, create, delete, drop, modify permissions to DB user account. And we got error message. PRIVILI privileges. PRIVILEGS. Yeah. So I had a typo here. Now once I fix the typo, we got this message. Now let's go and log in from my user account, that is DB user -b DB pass show databases, and we see we get access to July underscore DB. If you do use July DB, if you do like describe or show, let's do this. Or show tables, TABLES, and we see there is nothing in database. It's just empty piece of information, right? If you look into this location, I have a file called db.sql. So if we cat db.sql, this thing have all those information. So my database name is changed. So I'll just go and change some information on this file. So first thing is SQL mode. That's okay. Time zone. Normally, I always change it to something that I understand, like 5:30. So in case if something is going on my database, I exactly know what should I do. And there's a command that create database. I don't need this command, so I'll do /. I need this use command, and we change this thing to July DB. In July DB, they were going to create a table named users and then put this information. So we'll save this file. Oh, I opened it as a read only. Sudo vim db.sql, and let's edit this line only. Any message July DB, and everything looks just fine. We'll just do MySQL -u db user -p, and then we'll do redirect to this file. Type the password. Password is db pass. Hit enter. We got no message. going back to my machines, just type JulyDB, then show tables, and we see now we got users. So if we do this CRIE users, and it will show me all those fields. So ID, username, and password. So if I do like select ID from users, I have just one ID. If I do hey select ID, no, select, what was the thing, username from users, and I make it like this, like where ID is equal to 1. And if I put a single quote extra here, it just hung, right? But if I do it on a graphical interface, it will show me an error message. So I can actually install PHP my admin and go from that window. So we'll do sudo apt install PHP my admin -y. And meanwhile it's installing, let's see what we have done so far. So click, hey, it's still not working because we did not configure our database. So let's go and configure our database here. So that is on cd var www html, and there's a file called dbconf.php. So the user we have is named as db user. The password we have is db pass, and the database we are using is JulyDB. Correct? So if we refresh this page, hey, we got our login page here. So let's try send one information like user, and they're giving me the command that they're running in SQL database. So let's try to send admin and 123, and we can see we actually read admin, but the password is hashed. Let's send admin single quote 123, and this time we get an error message like, hey, you cannot do that. So I'm going to do admin single quote dash dash, that will comment out every single thing, and here I can actually read the entire thing. So they're telling me select start from users where username is equal to admin and password is equal to something. Let's run this one. So admin single quote dash dash and password nothing. Same error message. I will do admin or 1 is equal to 1. And here we see we missed this single quote. So we'll do admin single quote or 1 is equal to 1. Now this single quote here will fulfill this one. So admin will be in quote and then this message. So let's see what that means. Where is my, okay, it's taking time. Sudo mysql -u db user -p db pass use JulyDB, and then we'll run the command. So select star from users where user, what was the command, where username is equal to, so let's go back, the name is equal to admin. Admin is in single quote and password is equal to I'm gonna type just 123. We got empty set. Now what I can do is, if I put a single quote and then type or 1 is equal to 1 and then dash dash, we still have to count with this thing. Let's do db pass, and I'm just gonna go and ignore this for now. Let's let this one hash, because this will be auto commented with this hash over there. So you just have it as a blank, and we can see is, hey, we can actually retrieve the information by doing this, right? So let's try and change the username. We'll do like select user ad, nothing, adm, nothing, right? So the username should be correct, and password we can retrieve by running this or injection here, right? And this is the other way, like I can do like, hey, or 110 is equal to 10. Any mathematical formula will work here, and we can retrieve the information. So let's go and try it here. So admin or 1 is equal to 1, click on submit. A, we'll type admin or 1 is equal to 1 dash dash, hit enter, admin or 1 is equal to 1 dash dash, and we'll try to put something here and we log in. Awesome. And now you can see we have this links here. Yeah. Now this is the simple logical vulnerability, right? And we actually knew the database communication, that I can actually comment it out. So let's see, can we do that? Okay, it's going to take time. Just exit out from here, cd /var www.html sudo vim index.php, and if we go down, and this is the query that we are printing out here. So let's go and disable this query, because not any website will print out their queries on internet, right? That's not a good practice. Now if you type anything, it just give me message saying, hey, invalid password, try harder. Let's make it much more complicated, and that we can achieve by running one more thing here, is printing out this message. I already have this message, so I'm just gonna go and edit one line. Okay, so now what's gonna happen is, they're not going to tell me if my username is wrong or password is wrong. They have just print out invalid, try harder. And there is no way I can go and reverse engineer what PHP statement is going and communicating to the database. Now to exploit that particular thing, in next class we'll talk about how this works. We'll use automation and try to exploit that particular vulnerability. And I guess this phpMyAdmin is installed finally, and yes, application password for phpMyAdmin, we can just have it as, alrighty. So we got this configured. So now what we can do is, we can just type phpMyAdmin. Hey, something went wrong. I just configured it for localhost only. Let's see. Yes, I configured it for localhost only. So this looks like that way only. php my admin. Yes, it's for localhost only. Okay. So sandbox violation. I tried to log in from my browser, right? So yeah, and that's okay. Anyhow, we don't require those things for anything. If you do it mistake configured anything, just do sudo dpkg dash dash reconfigure and the package name. So I'm gonna just type php my admin, and there's the options I can actually go and reconfigure that thing. Okay, it's re dash configured, I guess. There is the option for that. What? Uh, there is configured directly, not reconfigured. Awesome. Okay, so hope that was is a thing you can use this program, install it in your local machine, and try play along with this particular thing. Okay, this thing does contain only one exploit, and then play along with these things. Okay, so give it a try, see can you configure the same way or not. And in chat, let's see, php is for web development, yes, but it's not only one language, only the language. There is others like you have .asp. Now JSP is going on now. Node is another thing that is coming up very hard. PHP connects Apache MySQL. No, PHP is a scripting language. Okay, means select all MySQL. Sir, if enough time remaining, can you exploit and show some web application available on Exploit TV? I cannot actually. Uh, that will be violation. But yes, there is one more thing. I will try to share it. Is it possible to fish like get username and password and print it on terminal? I guess you can do that by editing the script. Okay, you can have a daemon that will be running your script and create a log file from where you can fetch all those information and print it on terminal. Okay, so in this case, if you try to do anything, it won't log any informations or do nothing. But if you want, you can have that logic as well to play along. So, any other questions? Can retrieve from database? No, they if you put any wrong credentials, it's not going to put out in database. Okay, I don't have any sign up button. If you want to play along with these things, you can create another script for sign up. Currently, there is no sign up button on this machine. So you can have like a registered user account and create the same code to create an account automatically. Okay. Currently, you have to guess the account, then you don't have to guess the account. You just have to play along with these things. Once you're done, just put a PR request here and I will just add it over there. So I can show how to set proxy IP address. What? What proxy IP address? I'm not sure what you're asking here. uh, to hide ourselves. See, proxy does not hide your identity. Okay, let's just jump your request to a third-party server. So there's nothing they're hiding over there. Yes, one Jewish shop challenges are already available. Solutions are already available on the GitHub account. Okay, there's a guy. I'll try to find his write-ups and share with you. Okay, he have all those things in explanations, like in detail explanation how it works. Other than PHP, can we use JavaScript or Django framework? Yes, you can. If you understand any of these languages, you can use anything that you want, right? Okay. Any other questions or doubts? If you have, please ask. Any other questions you guys are having, please ask, or I'll just wrap up here and then continue later on. Got no questions. So I just want you guys to have this set up for before the next class, so we can actually go and exploit together. And we're gonna use few other tools that is installed in Kali Linux. Okay, and I'll play along with automations, how we can look for these informations and what else we can do. Okay, so we'll see you in the next class. Have a nice time and keep learning.